Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's your pal Cal here, and I'm doing a little update, a little bit late, because a lot has happened this past weekend, this past week. It's been a very eventful one, considering it was only a 4-day week for the training, because Monday was Canadian Thanksgiving. Who would have thought? I'm doing this right off the cuff. I'm not doing a list. I'm not trying to have a good flow to everything. I'm doing it just coming straight out, so I don't know how it's going to be. I'm still a little bit sick, but feeling better than I was last week. I got a new thermos because my other one broke, representing Tim Hortons. They've actually started getting my orders correct, which is great. And I've begun using their cool little shorthand. I get this filled as a large triple. So, whatever. So much has happened this week. I'm gonna do my best to make sure I hit everything. I feel like I have a lot to talk about, but I don't really feel like doing a lot of editing today because I have to record this video and edit it today. I didn't get a chance to record it yesterday. So, hopefully that won't be an issue. Yes, I celebrated my very first Canadian Thanksgiving, and incidentally, out of 25 years of Thanksgiving, this is the first one I celebrated without my family. Instead, I was celebrating it with my SWA family. How cute. The Aussies actually managed to cook 2 turkeys, having never cooked turkeys before in their life, and I bought a bunch of instant potatoes, and we microwaved them, and they were 4 out of 10, and the turkey here was dry, and yeah, it was a pseudo Thanksgiving, but we did it on our own, so we were happy with it. And you know, we all left full. That's the important part. We had that Thanksgiving, so we had Monday off. We only had 4 days of class this week. We were going over early stages of matches. We were going through the mid stage of the match, working on our selling, working on getting heat, and most importantly, promo day. We did our very first promo day on Friday. We had 1 day to kind of prepare our thoughts and give a promo, whether we were babyface or heel, and just learn from it and get used to doing promos in front of people and getting criticism for them. So that was really cool. I tried to cut a babyface promo because I feel like naturally everybody wants to do a heel promo. I wanted to do a heel promo, but I feel like I needed to challenge myself and see if I can actually, in some ways, I think it's easier to get people to hate you and harder to get people to like you and follow you. So I decided to give that a shot. And I probably delivered a 4 out of 10 promo. But you know what? Next promo class, gonna give it another shot, see how I do. What do I want to talk about? I'm severely underprepared for this. Like I said, I'm kind of doing this off the cuff today. I wanted to do a very quick entry. I don't feel like doing a lot of editing today. Other entries, my last entry took a lot longer to edit than I wanted it to. So I'm going to try and keep this nice and short. You know what? I'd actually like to talk about a wrestling company from the great Tri-City area of Bangor and Brewer, and it's called IWE. It's Independent Wrestling Entertainment. And I feel kind of bad because my last video I talked up Limitless Wrestling, and I pretty much said that Limitless was the only wrestling around in the area, and I don't know why I said that. IWE has been around since, I want to say, 2008. So they've been around for a long time. I mean, in 2 years, it'll be 10 years. That's pretty cool, considering independent wrestling is a hard, to be able to promote it and keep it consistent. And, I mean, most independent companies, I feel like, don't last very long. Or even if they do last long, it's got to be tough. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, while Limitless is the hot new one, IWE has been slugging and chugging for 8 years now. They're putting on consistent shows in Fairfield and Brewer and probably some other locations that I'm maybe not too familiar with. And they've been giving wrestlers jobs. and they've been putting on shows and making crowds happy. And incidentally, IWE, their 5th anniversary show, was the very first live wrestling show of any wrestling that I ever went to. And it was one of the first things that made me go, I kind of do still love wrestling. I think I want to do this. So I wanted to give a shout out to IWE, who before I came here to get trained, they were giving me training. Eric Johnson, of course. Very nice guy, super cool. I destroyed his laptop, turned heel first day, because I don't give a fuck. I got a lot of respect for what he does with that company, and I got a lot of friends over there, people who may be training, or people who are wrestling there. A lot of good guys, good company, so I wanted to get that shout out right away. IWE Wrestling. I will add the links. They put on shows at least once a month in Brewer. You know you're going to go to Cityside Restaurant, get some pizza, get a beer, and you're going to enjoy the show. It's a lot of fun. They always put on a good show, and I've always had a good time being there, either whether I be working the camera or when I was in the audience. Excuse me, or in the audience. So check it out, IWE Wrestling. Now that I got that off my chest, I feel a little better about it. Let's see what I want to talk about. Again, not very prepared. I'm going to talk about Game of the Week real quick. I want to talk about Sly Cooper. Maybe I mentioned it last week, or maybe not, I don't remember. I beat it last week, and it was a game that I actually played and beat a long time ago when I was way younger. And it's a platformer that utilizes mechanics from stealth games and 3D platform games. It's very fun. It's fairly fluid. It has an interesting story and a good pace. It's a little bit of a collectathon, but not so much so that you're completely overwhelmed, you know. This isn't a Donkey Kong 64 situation. This is much simpler, much more streamlined, and it's a lot of fun. Trying to get 100% and knowing that it is actually an attainable goal. It's a very fun thing to look for. My gripes with the game is that it's very glitchy. Maybe this is just because I was playing the Vita port, but I found several times certain mechanics of the game just decide not to work sometimes. This was incredibly frustrating in the very last boss of the game, where it turns out I was about one step away from actually beating him, and every single time would lose. So that was very frustrating. However, I still enjoy the game immensely. Brings me back to that good golden era of 3D platformers from the early to mid 2000s, going from Nintendo 64 to the PlayStation 2 era with Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, and Sly Cooper. So Sly Cooper, I'm going to give you a 7 out of 10. It's not a perfect game, and I haven't played the second one yet, but I have it, and I'll be getting to that soon. But fun game. I enjoy it. You might not. I don't care. The reason why I didn't do the recording last night, one was because I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders like a madman, and the other is because we went to a WWE live show right here in Calgary. Had some great seats. It was really, really cool. We got to see Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. We got to see Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn. We got to see Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, even though I was in line for concessions the whole time. And here's a little rant. You want to do a little rant alert, okay? Turn on the alarm, because I got a rant. It's not going to be a big one, because this is a very simple one. You know what really annoyed me? I waited in that line for a long time. I missed a Braun Strowman match, and I missed Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, okay? I waited in that line for probably 30 minutes, and when I got to the front, they said it was cash only. Now mind you, I bought my tickets using my credit card, okay? I bought it using a credit card. They had the swiper, the chip reader, everything. And there were no signs anywhere that said that it had to be cash only. So you gotta understand why I might be a little upset when I get to the front after waiting for 30 minutes just to get an overpriced veggie burger, which I was surprised they have, only to find out that I can't get it unless I go to an ATM, get some money, and wait 30 more minutes in line. So Zeki was nice enough. He bought some popcorn for the rest of the boys, so I ate a little bit of popcorn. And later, when we left the show, we were happy, but we were hungry. Went to McDonald's, got a bunch of food, and in the process of eating this food, the drunkest of drunk men comes crashing into McDonald's. We're all laughing. I immediately get my camera out. I'm recording this. I am documenting this. And this guy orders his food. He just walks over to his table, drops it on it, rips the bag open, is just eating like a madman. Zeki starts talking to him, trying to egg him on, trying to get him to do something ridiculous because he's already cracking all of us up. He starts throwing fries at us, he starts trying to rap, and he starts dropping N-bombs, which got Levi really hot. And Levi, for those of you who don't know, is, 220 pounds, and an Olympic prospect, okay? He's a big dude, and he's got a lot of testosterone, and he's black. So, you want to start throwing the N-word around, right around him, big problem. So Levi starts getting hot. Luckily, we had Lance in the middle, who's 240 pounds, 6'4". He's keeping them away from each other. Levi's throwing soda at him. I mean, this guy is just asking for it. He's getting in my face because I'm recording him. He's getting in everybody's face for no reason. He's just so drunk. He's like that caricature that people do of drunk people when they're joking around about what a drunk person acts like. This guy was that. Unbelievable. We left eventually. Kind of left the place trashed. Felt a little bad for that, but Levi, I thought, was going to absolutely destroy this man when he got outside. So, luckily, Levi was smart enough to know not to kill a guy. Probably not good for his career. So, that happened last night. That was a rip-roaring time. What do I want to do for the album of the week? What have I been listening to? Let's do Elevati. Elevati. I don't know how to say their name. Elevati, Elevati. Whatever their name is. This is folk, Celtic, metal, and I'm going to do the album Slania. This was the first album that I heard from them. I heard this in high school. I never actually owned it, and I just got it the other day. And, you know, it's just as good as I remembered as it was. What's cool about these guys is they got, like 8 members in their band or something. They've got all the metal musicians, the electric guitars, the bass, the drums, the screaming vocals, all that stuff. But then they've got, like, a fiddle, they've got a flute, and these are not MIDI. These are actual people performing these instruments. So you've got all kinds of these really cool songs. Just really cool usage of these folk instruments, so I'm going to play a little bit of it right now. Awesome stuff. Love all that folk stuff. I mean, the Celtic music, I love listening to this because I fancy myself to be a descendant of the Celts, even though I have zero proof of that. What I love about the Celtic music is it feels like I'm just getting so much energy, like I'm in touch with my ancestors, if that makes a lick of sense that doesn't sound too over the top. Just love getting into that zone, and when I go to work out anything Celtic like this, a lot of energy, high speed, great instrumentation, a lot of yelling, just a lot of aggression. I love that stuff. Giving this album a good 7 out of 10. It's a great album. Gets, I don't have any reason why I would give it a 7 out of 10 necessarily. It's just, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of that album. I don't think of it as a perfect album. Don't think of it as an amazing album. I think of it as a really good album that I love. 7 out of 10. Great album. Word of the week? I don't want to do word of the week. No word of the week. Forget about, fuck your lexicon. Bren and I have just got an apartment. Super exciting. We're going to be moving in. I'm going to be moving in, as soon as I can when I get back. Finally going to have a place of our own. So that's really exciting. Right in downtown Bangor. So nobody has any excuse why they can't come over and hang out. We will have an extra room that we want to fill at a certain point. So if anybody is interested in renting a room with us, get at us. It's a very cheap rent. Very cheap. I think you're going to like it. I think that's going to wrap it up for this week, ladies and gents. I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to eat some stuff and put this delicious Tabasco sauce on it. I'm going to have some Caltoids to keep my fresh breath forever. This is your pal Cal. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next week.